The fork scraped my plate before my mother's words cut deeper. "Get up, Kylie. That's her seat now." Her eyes flicked to my brother's fiancée, a stranger draped in diamonds, already lowering herself into the chair I had always occupied, next to Grandma. "You don't belong here," my mother added, her voice sharp, final. I rose slowly, holding my breath so they wouldn't hear it shake. The scrape of the chair echoed like a verdict. My father looked away. My brother smirked. She smiled, victorious. I turned toward the door, each step heavier than the last. That's when Grandma's voice sliced through the tension. "Actually, Kylie owns this house." The sound of a fork clattering onto porcelain was louder than thunder. It hadn't always been this way. I used to be the dutiful daughter, the quiet one, the one who held the family together while my brother chased shortcuts and women. When he brought her home, perfect nails, rehearsed sweetness, I wanted to believe him. He said she was different. He said she'd change him. But her eyes gave her away, calculating, hungry. She didn't see me, she saw what I had, and, slowly, they shifted. Family dinners where my chair drifted further from the center. Conversations I was no longer included in. Decisions made without me, about me. I was becoming invisible in my own home. It was the whisper that broke me. Late one night, I passed the kitchen and heard her voice, his fiancée, laughing softly to my mother. "She's weak. She'll never fight back. All this will be ours soon." My mother didn't object. She agreed. That was the moment I stopped being the daughter they overlooked and became something else. A shadow. A planner. I knew I couldn't outscream them. I couldn't outplease them. But I could outthink them. Grandma was my only ally. She saw what they ignored. She knew what they pretended not to. And most importantly, she owned everything. I visited her quietly, often, not with demands, but with patience. I listened when she spoke about her fears of being forgotten, her disgust at my parents' greed, her disappointment in my brother. I never asked her for anything. And that's why she gave me everything. The paperwork was signed months before that dinner. While they mocked me for working late, I was sitting across from Grandma's lawyer. While they dismissed me as background noise, I was watching ink dry on documents transferring the deed, the house, the land, the legacy, all of it, mine. So when my mother's voice cut me at that table, telling me I didn't belong, I felt no need to argue. I simply stood, ready to leave them in the illusion they had built for themselves. But Grandma, always dramatic, always precise, chose that moment to reveal the truth. Actually, Kylie owns this house. The silence that followed was pure. My mother's hand froze mid-air, fork sliding from her fingers. My father finally looked at me, really looked, as though seeing me for the first time in years. My brother's fiancée paled, her smirk collapsing. And my brother, his face went red, then white. He knew. He understood instantly. His empire of lies had crumbled in one sentence. I didn't smile, I didn't gloat. I simply pulled the chair back, sat down, and folded my napkin across my lap. "This is my seat," I said softly. No one argued. The rest of the meal was silent. Food turned to ash in their mouths. Every glance between them was laced with panic, calculation, fear. They realized, piece by piece, what it meant. They couldn't throw me out. They couldn't cut me off. They couldn't touch me. Because the ground beneath their feet was mine. Later that night, my mother cornered me in the hallway. Her voice was trembling now, stripped of authority. "How could you do this?" she hissed. I looked her in the eye for the first time in years. "You did this," I said. "You forgot who I was. Now, I'm reminding you." My brother's fiancée didn't last long after that. When the money wasn't guaranteed, neither was her loyalty. She left him with debt, with shame, with nothing. My parents still live here, but every creak of the floorboards, every glance at the deed framed in my study reminds them. This house doesn't belong to them. It belongs to the daughter they tried to erase. I lie awake sometimes, not out of regret, but satisfaction. Revenge doesn't always come with fire and fury. Sometimes it comes with a quiet signature, a dinner table, and the sound of a fork hitting porcelain. They thought I didn't belong. Now they live under my roof. And every day they sit in my house, knowing the truth they tried so hard to bury. The forgotten daughter is the one who won.